Now back to Inside West Virginia Politics with Mark Curtis.
Each student learns differently, at a different pace, in different ways, and under different circumstances. We just need to find their genius. One size does not fit all.
Charter schools do not improve student outcomes, but they are categorically discriminatory towards children with low socioeconomic status and students of color.
And welcome back to Inside West Virginia Politics. This Sunday morning, we continue our discussion of education reform here in the state of West Virginia. Joining us right now is Delegate Paul Espinosa, Republican of Jefferson County, right now the interim chair of the Education Committee and the majority whip here in the House of Delegates. You guys worked, burned the midnight oil Wednesday night very late, but you passed an education reform bill. Give us the highlights.
Well, it's really, I consider it to be a big win for public education in West Virginia. Over $148 million in additional investments in public education. Of course, it includes the more than $67 million public employee pay raise for our teachers and our school service personnel. That was actually included in our FY20 budget, but of course the legislation, HB 206, did actually implement that funding for the pay raise that will begin July 1st. More than $24 million in wraparound services. That's something that we heard loud and clear during the various forums around the state, that our schools simply need more wraparound services, support services, counselors, and so forth. And again, just a tremendous benefit there. I'm really excited, particularly in the Eastern Panhandle, where we continue to struggle to not only attract but retain highly qualified teachers. There's additional flexibility for school districts to spend resources as they see fit. There's a provision for block granting, essentially, where funding, rather than being delineated in certain buckets, if you will, where the spending is restricted, now districts will have a great deal of flexibility to use it as they wish, including perhaps incenting hard-to-fill critical need areas that have made it difficult to have qualified teachers in certain areas.
Let's get to the charter schools. That was really the flashpoint. You're really the architect of the success here, because the Senate had unlimited charter schools. The House bill originally had 10. You whittled it down to 3, and then maybe after 3 years another 3. Why is that so critical? How did that get through as 3 instead of 10?
Well, I think there was a desire, by both the House and the Senate to provide parents and students and communities in West Virginia the same options that are prevalent pretty much across the country. 44 states in the District of Columbia, as well as Guam and Puerto Rico, currently have the ability to authorize public charter schools. Initially, the legislation, as it was reported out of Select Committee C, did include, I believe, a cap of 10. Again, while I personally, and I think a number of folks, really felt that it was appropriate to leave it up to individual counties. If they wanted a public charter school, they could have one without really an artificial cap. There was a desire, I think, by some members who, were not perhaps as supportive of the charter school concept to at least have an initial cap. So we had started with 10. In consultations with the Senate, we decided that it was at least worth the effort to reach out to the governor again to see if we could possibly get the governor on board with some type of a charter proposal to be included in the legislation. And that's where we ultimately decided to go with an initial cap of 3 after a 3-year period. There will be a report from LOCIA, the Legislative Oversight Commission on Education Accountability, to the legislature on how any charters that are authorized are performing. And then the cap will continue to increase every 3 years by 3. So I think that represented a good, happy medium that not only the House, the Senate, but the governor could support.
We're down to less than a minute. I assume that how important is that evaluation? Because I know the teachers' unions are still going to oppose charter schools. So 3 years out, if we get a report card saying, hey, these worked pretty well, or nah, these underperformed, we're going to get rid of them. So there's going to be an evaluation mechanism.
Well, I think that's certainly important. And I think one of the things we've really worked very hard to do in this charter school provision, not only provide very strong authorization on the front end, very close scrutiny of the applications, but also pair that with very strong accountability, up to and including revocation or non-renewal of a charter application if they're not delivering on the results.
All right, we're going to keep an eye on this issue. It remains controversial, but it's going to happen. We want to thank Delegate Paul Espinosa, the chairman of the House Education Committee. Safe travels back to the Eastern Panhandle.
Thank you. Always good to be with you, Mark.
We're going to have another segment after this break. Stay with us.